morning. I have to say it's absolutely delightful to be here in Manchester today with you. The buzz, not just in here but outside for teas and coffees and reception, absolutely fantastic. And I know that my colleagues who were at the first Young Professionals event last year in Leeds said it was an amazing experience. And I have to say, just looking out at this Young Professional Network today, you're absolutely stars and you're the future leaders. So it's a delight for me to be here. I just want to start off this morning by inviting Jordan Edge to come up and have a few words of introduction. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. Can you all hear my dulcet tones? Yes. Welcome to the Science and Industry Museum, Manchester. My name is Jordan Edge. I'll be taking over the role of Chair for the Young Professionals Committee in the North West. I'll be taking over from Anna. And Anna, I'd like to thank you for the hard work you've done, and I hope that I can do half as much of a job as you've done. It's my great pleasure to welcome you to the second annual Chartered Institution of Highways and Transportation's Young Professionals Conference. On behalf of the institution, I'd like to welcome you all, members, non-members, and those that are speaking today. I'd also like to say a big thank you to the staff for the museum itself. This very site we are in is steeped in history and is a large part of the catalyst for the modern world as we know it. 189 years ago, on the 15th of September, 1830, this site was opened as one of the two terminus for the world's first intercity railway, the Manchester to Liverpool Railway, or the Liverpool to Manchester, depending on where you're from. The birth of the railway was of huge significance to the area, and within a few years it had spread around the country, and within a decade it had spread all around the world, changing nearly every aspect of our daily lives. Where we worked, where we live, what we ate, and what we did in our leisure time. The dominance of the railway is still so evident today. And once again, the iron and steel beasts are at the forefront of innovation, and we owe it all to the revolutionary northern industrial machine of nearly 200 years ago. Our theme for the conference this year is innovation and sustainability. And we know by simply looking around this historical place and walking the streets of this city, we know about innovation. And I know that there are a lot of intelligent people in this room and who I spoke to last night that are driving the current innovations, but mixing these new ideas with the modern day challenge of sustainability. We are very lucky to live in this modern world. We're so well connected now, more than ever, more than comprehensible for the people that built this building. So please connect, question, and contribute to today's program. Not only can we strive to understand our themes of innovation and sustainability, but as a collective, a generation, and as an institution, we can be world leaders in them. Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan. I often often reflect about railways. Railways are important, and Jordan's right. I think we're seeing a renaissance yet again in the railways. But it's just worth remembering this. The reason why the railways came into creation wasn't to carry people, it was to carry freight, coal from the collieries to the factories. Because, of course, nobody could possibly travel at 20 or 30 miles an hour on a railway and go through a tunnel and survive. So it's a really good example of how two things. First of all, freight often drives some of the changes in transport. But it's also a good example of how an idea and an innovation can actually be used for different purposes as you move forward. So I just want to say a few words by way of opening today's event. Future of transport, that's a nice, easy topic to solve in a day, isn't it? We've got some really challenging issues to deal with. On the one hand, we've got the climate change emergency. We've recently, with my day job, done an engagement on the transport strategy for England's economic heartland. And climate change has come through time and time again as being something really, really important. And we rightly need to address it. But at the same time, there's aspirations for prosperity, people having opportunities to realize their potential, to do better, both for themselves and for their businesses. And there's some real tensions in there that we need to explore as we move forward, which is why you are really important, not just as professionals, but as users of the transport system. Your choices, your influence changes what happens. Never underestimate the ability of you to make a difference that actually has a really big impact. And it's one of the reasons why I chose as my presidential theme, Shaping Tomorrow Today. I wanted us to remember that whether you're maintaining an existing asset, whether you're building something new, or whether you're planning for the future, each and every one of you, in your day jobs and in your actions, are shaping tomorrow today. So you're really at the forefront of what we're doing. Now, the themes you've got today, I think, are really fantastic and fascinating. We actually had, as the CIHT Council, we had Professor Gillian Annabel come and talk to us a couple of months ago. So any of you who go to see her today, I know you're going to have a really stimulating conversation. But you've also got things like technology. Technology is going to be part of the solutions. But equally, don't look at it as being the only part of the solution. Because if our answer to changing a car with a driver to an electric vehicle with an algorithm, you're kind of missing the bigger picture about how do we create places, how do we create places that fit for people, which is where the sustainability ideas come through. The ideas about how do we use better planning, better transport to create better places. These are really important things because what we do today is going to shape the future. So when you're looking at today and you're taking the opportunity, think about the choices we have to make. Think about how we make a difference. Think about how we move forward. Because your views, as I say, are really important. There are a number of members of the institution in here who are kind of part of that because the Young Professionals Network is really integral to what we do. I'm sorry, Chris, I'm going to point you out. Chris Cramble, who's the Young Professional of the Year. He joins us on CIHT Council this year. His predecessor, Nicola Blaney from Scotland, is on the Board of Trustees this year. And we're going to make sure that we have an even stronger voice from the young professionals, from students, graduates, apprentices, on the work of the council and our panels. We've got Erin. Where's Erin? I've lost Erin. Erin, are you here? Yes, our Apprentice of the Year last year. She's been helping us this year in terms of panels, and she joined me on the panel for judging the Apprentice of the Year this year. It's all part of how we can reach out and make you part of the solutions moving forward. I have to say, it's wonderful to see such a diverse audience out there, both members and non-members. The fact that we have a more diverse group of people here means we're going to have a much better, much more diverse conversation, and we're going to have some better solutions moving forward than perhaps we have in the past. So, for today, have fun. Remember, you're not just advocates of change, you're actually the agents of that change, and so you're really at the forefront of what we're going to be doing. Now, I have one particular duty to do today, thinking about how we move forward, and that's to announce the winner of the Apprentice of the Year, and we have the 8 finalists all sat at the front. We had the joy of meeting you all down in Britannia Walk a few months ago now. I had just actually want to make a point about saying I had a chance to go and see and meet the staff and some of the students at the Leeds College of Building earlier in the year as part of the presidential visit to Yorkshire. Absolutely stunning in terms of its facilities, the quality of the staff, and the students, the apprentices. Really, really uplifting and really delightful to be able to meet and see those people there. In terms of the panel that met the finalists, I've said Erin joined me and we had Catherine from the Department for Transport. I have to say, huge congratulations to all of you as apprentices, and actually to anybody who was nominated for the event, because it's a remarkable thing. And it's something I can relate to myself, because my son was an apprentice on the railway and has recently got his job with Network Rail. So I can understand the journey that you as apprentices have been on and the opportunities and the potential you bring to us. What I'm going to do now is just read out the list of finalists. I'll then just give a few reflections on what we've on the finals, and then I'll announce the winner and invite the winner to come up, and then we'll invite the other finalists to receive a certificate as well. So in terms of the finalists, we had, and this is in alphabetical order, Katrina Ho from Atkins. We had Gerard Humphreys from FM Conway. We had Cameron Lafferty from Amy. Joe Lungley from Jacobs. Jordan O'Loughlin from WSP, Gemma Pierce from Jacobs, Jack Smith from Arup, and Owen Smith from Kia. Can I just say, can we just give them all a round of applause before we go any further, because they're all fantastic people. I said they're all talented people, and I have to say that as a judging panel, we know it was really difficult to separate you. Not that we really wanted to separate you, because you are all credits to the profession. I hope you enjoyed your experience. You all came down to Britannia Walk, and I said to you at the time, you're doing the one thing that you're the best qualified person to do, which is to talk about yourself and the contributions that you're making. So well done to you all. In terms of the winner, I just want to kind of reflect upon some of the reasons why they stood out. What really came across to us was how this individual had gone through quite a journey in themselves. They'd understood about how you need to balance both the work and the studies, and how sometimes that requires you to give up on some of the things that are actually really important to you, some of the sacrifices you have to make in the short term to achieve things in the longer term. We were also struck by the way in which they shown initiative within their workplace, how they'd acted as a catalyst for change, not just for themselves, but for their colleagues around them. And we were also struck really, really well by how they had demonstrated leadership in terms of promoting the profession, in terms of presenting themselves and the profession to audiences and the next generation. I think there's many people in the profession for whom standing up in front of 250 people might make you think, "Ooh, that's a bit of a challenge." To be able to do it at this age and to be able to do it in such a style, I think says a lot about the individual. And if they remember what they wrote in their submission, by now Jack Smith will know that he's the winner of the Apprentice of the Year. All right, thank you. Thank you. You're going to take just come round here. Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So congratulations to Jack. Can I now invite each of the, I'll call up individually, each of the finalists. As I said, all of you are outstanding professional engineers, and I know you're going to have fantastic careers moving forward. But if I could invite you to come up, I'll call you up one at a time. So if Katrina Ho could come up first. Well done, Katrina. Really well done. All right. Congratulations. Then Jared Humphreys. Well done, Jared. Really well done. You're very impressive. Well done. Cameron Lafferty. Well done, Cameron. Really well done. Well done. Joe Lungley. Well done, Joe. All of you were impressive, so well done. Well done. Jordan Along. Well done, Jordan. Fantastic, well done. Well done. Gemma Pierce. Well done, Joe.
Thank you so much.
No, we were really struck by how you've done the work.
It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you. Thank you.
Jack Smith. Sorry, Owen. So, I just want to say once again, congratulations to all of them. I've had the pleasure of being on the panel for the meeting the finalists for the Apprentice of the Year for both years, and each time I have been struck by the professionalism, the breadth of the work that they do, and I know that they are credits to themselves, their companies, and the profession.